put up the agenda in just a second here. Vice Chair, I apologize, you're muted again.
Okay.
There we go.
So it is 7:03, and I would like to 7:03 p.m. on the December 1st, 2021, and I would like to call in the meeting. The community advisory meeting is held via teleconference, Zoom only, and no physical meeting space. You may watch the meeting without providing public comment by accessing it via the links below, like by accessing either the Facebook link or the YouTube link, or using the web stream using the City of Milpitas website. Public comment instructions.
We'll go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance,
Sure.
Vice Chair.
Oh.
So if IT could please put that up on the screen, and then Vice Chair, if you wouldn't mind just doing the pledge.
Sure. Just give me 1 second. Robert, would you be able to drive through it? My machine again froze.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands,
one
One
nation,
nation under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
So now we will do the roll call. Vice Chair, would you like me to help you with the attendance?
Sure.
Okay, just give me 1 second here. I will do that in a second. Okay, Commissioner Leon.
I think he said he will be late, right?
or excuse absence, or
Commissioner Trong,
Yes, I'm here.
Commissioner Batillo. Commissioner Batillo,
here,
Commissioner Peralta,
Present.
Commissioner Rosario,
Present.
Vice Chair Gandhi,
Present.
Commissioner Zhang,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez, Commissioner Rodriguez, and Commissioner Sridhar.
Here.
Okay, so now, Vice Chair, we can go and do the seating of alternates. So in this particular case, we do have 2 commissioners out, and we do have 1 alternate present. So you may seat Commissioner Sridhar.
Okay. So, Commissioner Sridhar, I think we'll sit in place of the 2 commissioners who are absent today.
Okay. Somebody need to make a motion for that, or no?
Not for the alternates, right? For setting of the alternates, it's for the next one, right, Robert? If I remember right. Because since the 2 other commissioners are not there, you're already big, like the alternate becomes the voting person for today. So
Putting up the agenda one more time, and apologies, I'm going through a lot here. So let me know when you can see it, and we are on number 5. So Vice Chair, would you like to announce if someone would like to make a motion to approve the agenda, please?
sure, I would like to I would like to just ask any of the commissioners, sitting commissioners, if they can like to make a motion to approve the today's agenda.
Okay, I would like to make a motion.
I second.
Thank you. So I think it was Commissioner Rosario and Commissioner Eileen, right?
Sridhar, me.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
And then now we need to vote. We'll go through the list one more time. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just do it based off my Zoom screen here. We'll go Commissioner Zhang,
Yes.
Commissioner Vice Chair Gandhi,
Yes.
Commissioner Sridhar,
Yes.
Commissioner Peralta,
Yes.
Commissioner Trong,
Yes.
and Commissioner Batillo,
Yes.
and Commissioner Rosario.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I think, Robert, I just saw a message from Commissioner Rodriguez that she's on call, but she's having the audio issue.
okay. I will look into that. Thank you.
So, sure. Okay, so now moving on to the line item number 6, which is the approval of the meeting of the minutes. I would request if any commissioner would like to make a motion to approve the meeting of the minutes from the last meeting held on November 3rd, 2021.
I'll move to approve the minutes from November 3rd, 2021.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Robert, do we need to take vote again?
Yes, we do. So Commissioner Zhang, I know you made the motion. Vice Chair Gandhi,
Yes.
Commissioner Trong,
Yes.
Commissioner Sridhar,
Yes.
Commissioner Peralta,
Yes.
Commissioner Batillo,
Yes.
and I know Commissioner Rosario was the second. And then Commissioner Rodriguez should be joining us, but I don't think she's coming in just yet. So we can move on.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Okay, now moving on to the item number 7, which is the public forum. Zoom attendees are invited to address the commission on any subject not on the tonight's agenda. Those interested in speaking may do so by following the instructions on the page 1 of the agenda. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes or less at the commissioner's chair discretion. As an item not listed on the agenda, no response is required from city staff or the Community Advisory Commission, and no action can be taken. The Community Advisory Commission may instruct the commission staff liaison to place the item on a future meeting agenda. Note, if a member of the public wishes to share any presentation material for the Community Advisory Commission consideration, they must be submitted to the commission staff liaison by email to Robert's email by 12 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Do we have anybody from public forum? I saw a
Yes,
hand.
we do have one hand raised. So I just want to make sure, excuse me, just want to make sure, IT, if you have a clock that you can share for the 3 minutes, that would be helpful. We do have a few folks here that are going to be commenting on an agenda item. So I just want to distinguish between public comment for items not on the agenda and items that we will discuss on business item number 9. So if IT, do you have a clock that you can assist with, or should I just take it on my phone? And I will grant access to that individual. Just 1 second. Urvish Mehta, you can unmute and speak.
Thank you very much to Robert Musalom. Also wanted to thank respected Commissioner, Vice Chair, and Chair for the Community Advisory Commission. First of all, I wanted to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays in advance, and as well as the Commission and the City of Milpitas is going to the holiday season. I wanted to emphasize on what has transpired during the year, and as well as would like Commission to consider as what as a Community Advisory Commission can be can be further evaluated with the ongoing development with the city of Milpitas. With the community development as to proceed with the previous meetings and this past year, I had requested commission to consider to establish and work with the chambers of commerce, and as well as work with the IP copyrights trade agreement department to work through a chambers of commerce to establish a channels with the city to city, county, and as well as the state to establish the international exchange, international community, international cultural development programs in order to enhance the Milpitas, which is undergoing a Milpitas metro development. Also, I wanted to emphasize that there are 4 plans currently in progress for the development. One is the Milpitas Metro Plan, there's a task plan, there's a general master plan, and there is a technology plan that is in process for the development. I wanted to request community to emphasize the technology development that is being undergoing, and as well as how the community development and cultural program and different diversification could influence to bring the grants funding as a part of a development of the cultural and arts program to the city, and as well as co-align the work plan equally with the different commission, as the community's involvement equally important with the coalition with the different 12 commissions of the city. Also, it is equally important where within the 2022's work plan, important to include where city of Milpitas to take a leap towards the county and as well as state, where each commissioner being the representative of the regional representative and be participating in the county and as well as a state, where they would be able to represent city of Milpitas as city, county, and state and country's jurisdiction, and allow the community to prosper not just as a city, but as a metro developed city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I think, thank you, Arvish Kumar Mehta, for your feedback. We'll work with city on those things. So
there are no other public comments at this time. I
Okay.
do want to just mention that Commissioner Rodriguez does have her hand raised, and I know she came to the meeting just a little bit ago, so I just wanted to make some space for her if that's okay, Chair.
sure, that should be okay.
Hi, all. I just wanted to make sure if you folks can hear me a little bit better. I was having difficulties with my internet connection.
I'm able to hear you well, Commissioner Rodriguez. This is
Okay, that's wonderful. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that. Thank you.
Sure.
So
Okay.
agenda back up for you, Chair.
Sure. Let's move to item number 8, which is the announcements. Do we have any staff announcements?
No announcements at this time.
Okay. Then moving to the agenda item line number 9, which is the business item, CDBG community meeting. Members of the community, non-profit stakeholders, and members of the commission are invited to share their consolidated plan feedback.
Yes, so staff will be doing just a quick presentation, and then with your permission, Chair, we will turn it over to the attendees who are here and who would wish to give public comment.
Sure.
Just pull the presentation up and then I'll get started.
Sure.
Let me know when you can see the full slideshow.
I can see it.
Okay, great. Juggling here on my screen, and great. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here tonight. This is sort of a special event in that we every 3 years or 3 to 5 years, we are allowed to begin the process of a consolidated plan. And this is the city's first outreach event in approximately 5 years since the last consolidated plan. And so very excited to share this with the Community Advisory Commission and the nonprofits that service our community. And so we're going to just do a quick presentation here, just kind of going through a little bit of refresher, a little repeated information, but I think it's always good to get that refresher. And we'll eventually get to the applicants who are going to help us with part of our consolidated plan outreach. So the Community Development Block Grant Program is administered by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Every year, HUD allocates approximately $600,000 every fiscal year, though we're never sure how much we'll get until the numbers are actually allocated. The final allocation is yet to be determined by HUD, but we will report those figures to you once we know. But we're still sort of waiting on that information from them. So as a quick reminder of what the consolidated plan is, it's a document derived from public input that governs how much we as a city intend to allocate through the annual allocation of CDBG funds. How do we intend to do that? What are the goals? More specifically, what are those goals that we're trying to accomplish over the next 3 years? How do we envision allocating those funds to accomplish that goal? And then every year we complete an annual action plan that represents 1 year's worth of goals and action taken towards that 3-year plan. So real quick overview, the consolidated plan is a really high level plan for us as a city as to what we're going to do every year with those CDBG funds. Okay, so we'll go over some key dates here in the next slide, but it's important to note that this year is a bit different. The consolidated plan needs to be approved by the city council 45 days, at least 45 days before the start of the program year. So this means that this year we need to have an approved con plan, which also includes the first year annual action plan by May 17th, 2022. Now that does differ in previous years. Our annual action plan could be submitted to HUD by August 16th of every year. But because this is a consolidated plan year, everything is really accelerated. And typically we get our annual action plan to HUD in June, right ahead of our July 1 fiscal year starting point. So this year's just a little different. Everything's a little bit ahead of schedule and for good reason. But that's why you're seeing a lot of CDBG talk and some of it a lot earlier and sooner than we normally would. And this slide just shows the entire timeline of events. So for some of the nonprofits that are joining us tonight, they're seeing this for the first time. So in November, we held a consolidated plan community survey, of which we'll go through some of those results here in a couple of slides. Tonight is the CDBG community meeting. And then the application period will open in early January. It'll close in mid-February. We'll have another community meeting with the CAC and the community, more specifically related to the applicants for CDBG funding, as we do every year. And then in April and May of 2022, we will go to the City Council to present the applications and recommendations, and then the final approval in May. Okay. So the Consolidated Plan Survey, throughout November, the city had been posting about the CDBG Consolidated Plan Survey. The intention was to gather feedback from the community about where the next 3 years of funding should be prioritized. And the deadline to respond to that survey was this past Monday, November 28th. So some of the high level questions that were considered, what are the city's top priorities over the next 3 years? What do you feel are the most common or pressing housing or community development problems in the city? What are ways to overcome these problems? How should the city spend their annual CDBG allocations? And so if in the next slide, I'm going to give you sort of a higher level summary of what the responses were. Now, keep in mind, there's a full survey, which I link to at the bottom. And when I email you a copy of this PowerPoint presentation after the meeting, you'll be able to click that link to full survey results and take you straight to that document for your review. But the survey did yield 32 responses from the community. And again, I'm going to go over some high level overview of the results. 72% of the respondents stated that they wanted to see improved city facilities. That's like senior centers and educational centers and child facilities, those types of things. 50% wanted the city to create additional affordable housing. 56% wanted improved nonprofit community services. 66% wanted improved housing for special needs populations. 59% wanted to see job training for the homeless. 63% felt strongly about a center for people who are disabled. And 53% also felt strongly about providing homeless childcare and mental health facilities specifically for those populations. And 50% felt strongly about providing a drop-in center for the homeless. Again, the survey will have a lot more information. Again, I just wanted to provide you some very high-level overview. And if you didn't get a chance to take the survey as a commissioner, please let me know. I'm happy to resend it and add your survey results. But for the larger community, it is closed, but we can always discuss doing some more outreach if the commission warrants it. But at this time, we feel pretty good about the amount of responses and the community outreach that we've done to date. So this is a high level overview. So one of the main components of the con plan outreach is consultations. And what that means is, and I'm going to read it specifically or explicitly from the regulations. When preparing a consolidated plan, the jurisdiction shall consult with other public and private agencies that provide assisted housing, health services, and social services. And then in the regulations themselves, they list these 13 broad categories. So the city reached out to all of our known nonprofit partners to attend this meeting this evening. We also sent them a link to a Google form where they could provide their consultation via written testimony. We received responses from 8 agencies representing the following categories: emergency management, elderly persons, persons with disability, low-income home repairs, domestic violence. And some of these agencies are here tonight to further consult with the city about why their services should continue to receive consideration for CDBG funding. And so with that and the chair's permission, I'd like to turn it over to public comment for this agenda item to allow these agencies to speak. So Chair, I want to pause there and just make sure if you wanted to go to the nonprofits first, if you wanted to ask the commission for questions, whichever order you deem appropriate is fine. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with the path that I selected here.
Sure. No, Robert, yeah. So first of all, I think I would like to go with the commission because I have a question as myself. And then we can go back to the nonprofit people. So the 8 agencies that you mentioned today, that those who are participating in tonight's call, what have we like provided funding them in the past?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so they're not like first timers.
No, they've all received funding in the past.
Okay, yeah, I think that was the question I had. I would probably open it up for any other people on the commission if they have any other commissioners, if they have any questions before we open it up for the nonprofit organizations. Any commissioners have any questions, comments? Okay. Once, twice.
Sorry,
okay.
can I ask a question? So these the organizations that have been invited today, are they going to be speaking? And are they currently funded through the grant?
So yes, they have the right to speak. And they were, what we did was we did outreach to all nonprofits that have ever applied to CDBG or that we've had contact with. And so we sent them all this link so that they can either provide us the answers to the questions that we had via this Google form, or if they wanted to come here specifically to talk directly to the commission, that's certainly encouraged just for the terms of public participation. So it was an either or both. It really was up to them. A majority of them have been funded because our outreach generally spans the agencies that we have historically worked with in CDBG and other nonprofits as have come up in our other housing endeavors. So yeah, we did have a wide berth of outreach, but the folks here tonight have all received CDBG funding in the past.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, so if I may, Vice Chair, what I'll do is I'll ask the attendees that are representing an agency to raise their hand if they would like to speak. And then if not, we can move to more Q&A here.
Sure, that's like the sounds like a good plan, Robert. You may proceed.
Okay. So I'm going to move, we'll go with Sherry Burns. She's the first on my list here. So I'm going to click allow to talk. And Sherry, you can unmute. And IT, would you be able to put, actually, it's okay. I don't think we need a time limit on these, as this isn't public comment per se. This is more consultation from local agencies. So Sherry, go ahead. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yes, good evening, commissioners and Robert. Really appreciate the opportunity to listen to your discussion and have an opportunity to share some thoughts with regards to the consolidated plan and planning for services in the future. As a survey revealed from those that responded, there's a huge need for expanding affordable housing, and I would add affordable, accessible, integrated housing to that as well, to meet the needs of folks that are in the special needs or disability and older adult populations. That was a very high need coming from the responses of the community. Over the past number of years, we have provided housing education, housing search assistance, and one-on-one training for finding, securing, as well as maintaining affordable long-term housing for persons with disabilities, as well as older adults in the city of Milpitas, providing workshops and one-on-one assistance to residents at the Barbara Lee Center. Of course, over the past year and a half, it hasn't been possible to provide those services in person, but we've been giving online workshops to meet the needs of as many people as possible, as well as working with folks over the telephone and via Zoom or Teams meeting discussions. As necessary, we also do meet with people individually, providing social distancing and PPE for those meetings. But there's the last couple of years here under the pandemic situation, the downturn in the economy, we have served, thankfully, through the wonderful funding that we've been able to partner with the city of Milpitas in, with the CDBG CV funds. We've been able to also to provide hundreds of thousands of dollars to hundreds of Milpitas residents in the rent relief program. And that has been tremendously successful in assisting many Milpitas residents, many of whom are older adults, veterans, families with children in Milpitas Unified School District, in maintaining their housing and not losing their housing during this difficult time. So we'd like to be able to continue to provide rent relief assistance, also considering looking at expanding housing options for folks that are extremely low income, especially, again, older adults and people with disabilities that we serve, and that it would certainly indicate there's a high need from the responses of the community. One last thought with regards to CDBG funds is that a number of folks, in order to maintain their housing and age in place, they may need some accessibility modifications to their homes, perhaps putting in a ramp, a wider door, grab bars in the shower or bathtub, those kinds of things, for them to stay successfully and securely in their homes as they age and develop disabling conditions. And there is no program funding that offers this type of barrier removal for folks who are renters. Of course, Rebuilding Together does a fabulous job of providing those kinds of barrier removals for folks that own their own homes, but there's a huge number of renters that just don't have the funds available for them to be able to remove those barriers and stay in their homes and avoid institutionalization or homelessness. So I would certainly encourage the commission and the city to consider putting aside some funds for those kinds of removal of barriers for residents who are renters and who are very low or extremely low income. Thank you again for your partnership over the years, and look forward to continuing to work with you in assisting all of the residents of the city of Milpitas.
And thank you, Sherry. Could you just again quickly announce what organization you're with and your role there, please?
Yeah, sorry. Sherry Burns. I'm the executive director, of Silicon Valley Independent Living Center.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, I have Linda Dominguez. I will allow you to talk. Linda, you can unmute and talk when ready.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Linda Dominguez. I am with the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Office of Santa Clara County. I am the Program Manager. I first would like to thank you for your support and for the continued support that you have given our program to service the city of Milpitas. Our program is an advocate for the most valuable citizens of your city. We support the residents in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. We advocate for the dignity, the rights, and the needs of seniors and the disabled in those facilities. This is an unduplicated service for the Santa Clara County. No other program has 24/7 access to the residents and facilities. All are required by law to have a poster of their facilities in order for the residents to contact us at any time. The Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program is authorized by the Federal Old American Acts as well as the California Old American Acts to advocate for the rights of seniors and disabled residents in long-term care facilities. The main function of the Ombudsman Program is to investigate complaints made and on behalf of the residents related to quality of care and to abuse and of abuse. The Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program promotes the interests as well-being as the rights for the long-term care facility residents. The long-term care program protects and helps improve the quality of care and life for the seniors and disabled population. Living in a long-term care facility is often not the first choice for anybody. Many seniors and disabled adults have little option but to live in a facility. And for this reason, it's very important for their rights to be protected. Often the long-term care resident lacks the ability to express their rights or voice their complaints. But these circumstances, the long-term care itself improves the quality of life for all residents by giving them a voice. We investigate complaints, we solve problems, we mandate. We also witness advanced health care directive. We partner with agencies, the Sheriff Department, Adult Protective Services, and licensing for facilities. For the city of Milpitas, we have one staff who is dedicated to Milpitas. That staff oversees the nursing homes, the 6 beds, which are care homes, and assisted living. In the city of Milpitas, we have 142 beds for our seniors. For the city of Milpitas, we also, during this pandemic, we have made a priority to stay connected with our residents. We have stayed connected at times when facilities were in lockdown. We used equipment to stay connected using VI Zoom. We also connected with families. We at times did window visits when we weren't able to enter in the facilities. We did our very best to stay connected with our residents. And with this, I thank you for your support. And we continue to give the same quality of care as we did for the city of Milpitas. Thank you very much for this time.
Sure. Thank you, Sherry. Sorry, thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. And next will be Alana Purcell. So Alana, I'll unmute you. And you're ready to go when ready.
Good evening, Robert and everyone. My name is Elena Purcell. I am the Development Director at Rebuilding Together Silicon Valley, and we are extremely grateful for the long-term relationship with the city of Milpitas and, of course, for the opportunity to speak about our clients that we support at Rebuilding Together here this evening. As some of you may know, we are the only organization that does provide no-cost safety modifications and critical home repairs to our county's low-income homeowners. Typically, these are going to be older adults, people with disabilities, veterans, families with young children, and so on. Our average client is typically has lived in their home for 30 plus years in their 70s. And, this is the area that they call home. So thank you so much also to Sherry for shouting us out there. We greatly appreciate the mention. And we hope to continue to provide this extremely critical service to the community and the residents of the city of Milpitas. Specifically, we've served over 300 individual homes since our 10-year relationship. And we're seeing an extreme trend from applications that are coming in this fiscal year as the existing housing stock of single family homes and of mobile homes is aging, that the repair needs are that much greater. We're seeing more and more that, the limited resources that we are able to provide, those safety modifications just aren't cutting it, and that our homes are, falling into deeper and deeper disrepair, and that we have that critical work ahead of us to continue to provide that. So thank you again. Just happy to be here and be able to put a voice to those in need that we support in the community.
Thank you, Alina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next up is Georgia Basile. Georgia, go ahead and unmute and begin when ready.
Good evening, commissioners. I hope you can hear me. Robert,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
confirm?
Yes, we can hear you, Georgia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Georgia Basile. I'm the directing attorney of Senior Adults Legal Assistance, or SALA, as many of you know us. We are a nonprofit law office that provides free legal services to older adults, targeting clients that are low income or at risk of abuse or loss of independence. We are a current grantee of the city of Milpitas, and we thank you so much for that support. Your funding has enabled us to expand the availability of our services to Milpitas residents 62 or older for many, many years. Prior to COVID, we were providing our services primarily at appointments at Barbara Lee Senior Center. However, the Senior Center did close and canceled our appointments during COVID. So since that time, we have been providing services remotely to Milpitas seniors, primarily by telephone. At least 70% of the Milpitas clients we served last year were very low income, at or below 50% of the median. 40% were 75 or older, and 30% reported that they had a disability. These factors place them in greater economic or social need. We can attest that legal assistance is a critical need for seniors countywide as well as in Milpitas, because we continue to see clients with legal problems involving the public benefits they rely on to shelter in place, age in place, and meet their basic needs. These are benefits such as Social Security, SSI, Medicare, and Medi-Cal. We continue to see clients worried about eviction even after the eviction moratoriums, or clients whose housing is otherwise in jeopardy, such as seniors in affordable housing that need reasonable accommodations due to a disability. We continue to see older adults that need to do basic planning for incapacity or end stages of life to enable them to live with dignity and choice, but they can't afford a private attorney at $400 to $500 an hour to do so. And regrettably, we continue to see an increase in older adults that are victims of elder abuse. Many of these cases involve abusers living in the homes of our clients and sheltering with them during COVID, such as family members, caregivers, even tenants renting out rooms in their homes. Services to elderly persons are identified as a high level and priority need in the city's current consolidated plan. We hope that the CAC will reaffirm that services to elderly persons, including legal services and other supportive services, and especially the long-term care ombudsman service that we work closely with. We hope these services will continue to be identified as a high priority need in the con plan that you are considering for adopting this evening, or at least for those priority needs. Seniors are the fastest growing segment of our population. by 2060, 25% of the population will be 65 or older. We do hope that Milpitas funding priorities in your con plan will continue to identify and address the needs of seniors to keep pace with this demographic shift. Thank you so much for the opportunity to comment this evening.
Thank you, Georgia.
Okay, and I have one more representative from an agency, and then I have a public comment after that. So Jordan Danzer is up. Hello, Jordan. Go ahead and unmute when ready. Jordan, go ahead and unmute when ready, if you can hear us. Okay, let me see if I can unmute. Jordan, if you can hear us, why don't you unmute? I'll give you a couple more seconds. If not, we'll move to the public comment, then we'll come back to her. Okay, so what I'll do is, and actually, let's bring in Allison, and Allison can tell us if she's representing Project Sentinel this evening or a resident of Milpitas. Allison, welcome.
Hi, I was not asked to represent Project Sentinel. I do work for them, and I know that Project Sentinel, I don't have anything to say about that. I wasn't planning to speak on that. I did want to, however, say that I am vice president of a relatively new nonprofit in Milpitas. So we are called Hope for the Unhoused. We started organizing about a year ago and incorporated as a nonprofit early this year. We provide outreach to the unhoused with essential items, information, and resources so that they are positioned for housing and other supports. We support the unhoused in accessing the county's assessments and other aids such as ID cards, health access, food, and transportation assistance. And we educate community on the challenges of homelessness and how it affects our community, advocating for effective solutions, mobile showers and laundry and mental health services. We help prevent homelessness through food and education programs. You can see us with a booth next to the city's mobile showers every weekend with hygiene kits, snack bags, charging station for people's electronics, clothing, sodas, coffee in the hot weather, water, and coffee in the cold weather, water in the hot weather, snacks, and sometimes other food items. We are on the ground, boots on the ground, providing service and outreach to our unhoused. We provide communication between the city and the unhoused, and between the county and the unhoused. We provide mail service for the unhoused so that they can receive important documents, and hot meals 2 to 3 times a week. I would like for this organization, Hope for the Unhoused, to be considered as a future recipient of the CBDG grants. We did not, to our knowledge, receive an invitation to participate in this program. And we would really like to be considered. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Robert, can I just make a remark here?
Yes, Chair.
Sure. So I think I didn't catch the name, but yes, there is no invitation that we invite here. Basically, the process-wise, the application opens up in month of January, as Robert mentioned, and then it goes till end of the February that you can fill out the application. Basically, it runs for 2 months. So if you guys like to participate, just fill out the application, I would say. And you can work with Robert or other city staff if you have any questions related to the application.
Thank you. That's awesome. The invitation I was referring to was the invitation to provide input into the plan, as opposed to, we would also like to participate in applying for a grant, and we will definitely find out the best way to do that from Robert. The name of the organization is Hope for the Unhoused, and it is a Milpitas-based group. We focus on Milpitas Unhoused. We also have worked with the school district to get the Loaves and Fishes mobile. They have a food truck that goes to schools, and we've helped facilitate that because we're interested in preventing homelessness as well as helping the unhoused get back on their feet. I really appreciate all the work that these other 8 agencies that are represented here tonight do, because we know that without them, a lot more people would be on the street needing our help, needing our tents, needing our sleeping bags, and needing our food. So we appreciate what everyone's doing, and we would like to be part of this group going forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alison.
Okay, and let's try Jordan one more time. Jordan, can you unmute, and hopefully we can hear you.
There we go. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm Jordan Danzer. I'm the grants manager at Next Door Solutions to Domestic Violence. We are based in San Jose, and we serve Santa Clara County. This year, we're celebrating our 50th year of providing comprehensive survivor-defined bilingual services to adults and families who have been impacted by domestic or intimate partner violence. We have been an agency working with the city of Milpitas for many years, serving people through the majority of all our programs. This current year, we are providing services through our 24/7 crisis hotline, through our 24/7 emergency shelter, the shelter next door, through our legal services and crisis walk-in counseling, our self-sufficiency case management and other support services programming, including our domestic violence housing first program, which provides financial assistance so that survivors and their children can either remain in their homes or to get housed if they're currently unhoused. We also have support groups that are available not only for adults, but we have teen support groups. They're in English and Spanish, all our groups. We have a group for male survivors, as well as a group for LGBTQIAP people. And then we also have therapy services for individual adults or for the families. We do not work with the abusers, but we do have a partner program with an agency out of East San Jose called Families for Peace that work with abusers that are not yet systems involved, because we hear a lot from our survivors that they really do want their relationship to continue. They just want changes that happen within. So we try our best to keep families together as well. Last year, we served 62 residents of the city of Milpitas. And so far this year, from July to through September, we've already worked with 22 Milpitas residents. The majority of the people we work with are of extremely low income. Last year, 90% of those that we worked with were of low income or less. All our services are free. They're at will. We provide bilingual services, primarily Spanish as an additional language. But if anybody comes in with any other language needs, we work with a outside contracting services called Certified Languages International, so that we can have a 3-way conversation. We also are set up to work with people who are visually impaired or hearing impaired. And we have, like I said, we've been in business for 50 years. As much as we'd like to be out of business because we would have ended the need for our services, I know that we're going to be here for a much longer period of time. And we're looking forward to continuing to working with not only the city of Milpitas, but with its citizens, because we're out there, we're doing a community outreach, and we engage with the police department. And we're also very engaged with other agencies who also serve citizens of Milpitas. So we're going to be here when you need us, and we're hoping that we can continue to have funding from the city. Thank you.
Thank you. And we do have one more agency that just joined, and then we'll move to the public comment. So Kishan, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to unmute, and you can start when ready.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I represent an organization called Pragnya. We support children with disabilities who are part of the Milpitas Unified School District, and most of them who are struggling in special education classrooms with regressions and lack of skilled support staff. We provide training for families of non-native English speakers as well in the areas of IEP planning and IPP planning for regional centers. And we're able to find and obtain support and services for their loved ones for sure. And we also empower families with information and resources, provide them integration opportunities by organizing enjoyable and cultural relevant events where everyone can participate, everyone can feel the experience and the sense of belonging. Pragnya provides everyone an opportunity to lead a quality of life reminiscent of dignity and respect. Just because individuals with disabilities do not have a voice to advocate for themselves does not mean that they do not exist. And this is where the Neuro allies at Pragnya come in. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to actually voice our, our what we do in our organization. And it'd be wonderful if you guys could think of allocating some funding towards this initiative as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So now that is all the organizations. So as customary, we will have to allow public comment. We do have a gentleman with his hand raised. So IT, could you put a timer up? And with respect for times, we are coming up to the end of the meeting time here. Chair, are you comfortable with a 2-minute public comment window?
Yes.
Okay. So if we can just change that to 2 minutes, and then Urvish Mehta, I will unmute you or allow you to chat, and go ahead and unmute yourself and go ahead and deliver public comment. Mr. Mehta? Perhaps he just had his hand raised and didn't realize it. Okay. Ask him one more time just to make sure we're satisfying the public comment process.
Sure.
Urvish Mehta, feel free to unmute and provide public comment. Okay. Respectfully, we'll go ahead and move on. Always want to allow.
Hello.
Oh, did I just back that up real quick? Mr. Mehta?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you again. I want to thank Robert for the opportunity. I wanted to mention about the community advisory commissions and the CDBG grant program. I also wanted to mention about inviting the Santa Clara County Medical Health Hospital Authority and as well as where the veteran commissions be able to participate with the VA medical facilities as a part of public-private agencies to be included, as with the ongoing situation with the COVID-19 and the new variant that has been introduced. It is important that as a part of a community development program and a grant program, those institutional, specifically the medical facility institutional and the public safety and emergency preparedness agencies affiliated, say, for example, the Federal Disaster Management Authority be invited and be included as part of a community development program as well. Well, they will be able to provide and emphasize on more what community what community involvement is about and what they can introduce as a plan and provide a federal grants to the city of Milpitas as a part of a development of a program, and as well as providing the right set of resources and education during such kind of during the pandemic conditions. And as well as we are going through the situation, it is important that the resources be accessible through the Community Advisory Commission to the citizens of our city of Milpitas. I yield my 20 seconds. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for consideration.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that concludes that particular business item, unless the members of the commission had any other questions or discussion items on that.
Let's open it up.
If not, we can go ahead and move on to, with your permission, Chair,
Right.
item number 10.
Sure, let's go in once, twice. Okay, let's move to agenda item number 10, city liaison report. I think I saw council member.
I do apologize. Commissioner Sridhar did physically, like the old school, raise her hand.
Sorry, I was trying to look for the raise. It was right in front of me. I didn't see it. Sorry about that. So can we ask a clarification question with regard to what Ms. Burns shared with regard to special needs housing? Is it possible to ask them, or is it something that would be at a different forum?
We can ask them now. Is she still on the call? And I just unmuted her. If you have a quick question for her, that's fine.
Okay, great. So hi, Ms. Burns. Thank you so much for the incredible work that you're doing in serving the Euro-minority community. I quickly wanted to ask how, if you could talk about exactly how your organization is benefiting the, the residents of Milpitas. Do you have residential facilities here, or is it mostly families of individuals with special needs who get rental assistance from you? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, hi, Commissioner. Thank you for the question. We do not have, we don't own any housing at all throughout the county. We work with our existing developers in the area, as well as landlords and real estate, property owners that have real estate available for rent, in order to help folks find affordable and accessible housing that's in their community. And a lot of the referrals that we've been getting over the past number of years, and certainly most recently in the last 2 years, have had difficulty finding housing that fits within their budget, because they're so rent burdened. As studies from a number of years ago indicated, there was already 25% of the Milpitas residents that were cost burdened by rent prices. And I'm sure that has gone up even in the last couple of years. So we try to work with folks that primarily are low and extremely low income, have any type of disability in finding and securing housing. Many times that is room rentals. We work with Catholic Charities and their shared housing program when we can, in order to find somebody who has a home with an additional room that they'd like to rent out to another resident, and try to match them that way. Otherwise, it's working with the landlords in the community that we've established relationships with in order to find room rentals. If people qualify for Section 8, or they happen to already have a Section 8 voucher, then we will find them an apartment, if we can, that's available to meet their needs as well. We also provide, as you indicated, the rent assistance for folks that are already housed, and because of a extenuating circumstance, with either losing work hours, or temporarily losing their employment, or having a catastrophic situation where their expenses have gone up and they temporarily need 1 or 2 months of rent assistance, we're also providing them with that rent assistance so they can stay housed.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And is that specifically for families or individuals who have disabilities, or is it across the board?
Yeah, with the rent assistance program, that is serving all of the residents who qualify for CDBG assistance through that grant program. So we serve older adults, veterans, folks that have had domestic violence situations, people with disabilities, and low-income families with children who are in Milpitas Unified School District. So it's pretty much across the board, families with the rent assistance program. The other services we provide are geared towards older adults with functional limitations and people with disabilities of all ages.
Is there a wait list, Ms. Burns, for affordable housing in Milpitas for those with developmental disabilities?
Yeah, there's, I don't know if there's a wait list per se. Each complex has their own system for opening up their wait list or opening up opportunities for housing as it becomes available. But in general, throughout the whole county, there are long wait lists for people to get into subsidized housing. And that typically is a 3 to 5 year period of time.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
quite welcome. Appreciate the questions.
Sure.
Okay, Chair, if you want to go ahead and open it up for questions. If not, we can certainly move to item number 10, but I'll defer to you.
Sure, I don't have any questions. I just want to open up one more time for all the commissioners. If they have any questions, either old style using the hand or by standing up.
Hi, it's Thelma.
Sure, Thelma.
Yeah, Robert, I wanted to just clarify, are the applicants for the grant, CDBG grant, is only for 501c3 or any nonprofit?
Generally, it's 501c3, yes.
Okay, yeah, because I believe, I'm not sure if the Unhoused, hope for the Unhoused is still here, but they're a fairly new group, and I know that they might not be. And are they allowed to apply?
We'll go ahead and work with them offline, and we always want to make sure that we get maximum participation in CDBG grant, right? All consistent with the federal regulation. So I work closely with Allison. I'll go ahead and work with her directly on that.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Sure, thank you.
And Councilmember Chua, I noticed you unmuted, so I want to make sure you have an opportunity to ask any questions as well.
I just want to, on a side note, make sure that there's no conflict of interest within the commissioners in terms of their affiliation to any organizations that's asking for grants.
Okay.
And you can emphasize that during one of the processes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember that if we have a conflict of interest, we have to abstain from certain approval or whatnot.
That's correct. And we work closely with our city attorney on that through the CDBG process to ensure that doesn't happen.
Hey, I just want to make sure.
Thank you.
Are we on item 10 now?
Chair?
Chair.
Yeah, I think so. Let's move to item number 10. The first thing is the council member Chua's liaison report, basically. So it's all yours.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. It's going to be really brief, as there's only one item, and that's Holiday Magic on Main Street. So as CAC Community Advisory Commissioners, I reach out to you to tap on your sphere of influence, the residents, to please invite them to Holiday Magic on Main Street. The first day is this Saturday, December 4th. And it's from 1 to 10 p.m. At 2 o'clock, there's Areti singers, the carolers. 4 p.m. there's a DJ. 5 p.m. is Milpitas High School dancers. 6 p.m. Dante the Magician, 7 p.m. Country Cougars Band, and 9 p.m. DJ. So it's fully packed, and you can pick which ones you would like to go. And please, as commissioners, especially you guys, you are community advisory commissioners, that I put that to you guys to invite the residents of Milpitas. And that's it. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Council Member Chua. Sure, I would probably be one of the one visiting it over the weekend. So I got the flyer.
Good.
Okay, let's move on to item number 10B, which is the city staff liaison reports.
Nothing on the city's end. So I will move it back to you, Chair.
Sure. Thanks, Robert. Okay, let's move on to item number 11, which is the adjournment of the meeting for tonight. I would like to...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
I was going to make a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn the meeting for tonight.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you. Do we have anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay. So before we go for voting, I think, can we go to the message? I just saw Commissioner Batalio had some question.
Yes. So where is the mobile shower? If acceptable, I'll send everybody an updated flyer to the mobile shower and laundry. So that way you all know where it is located during the month of December.
That's will be a good idea, Robert. So, okay, let's take a vote.
So Commissioner Sridhar?
Yes.
Vice Chair Gandhi?
Yes.
Commissioner Peralta?
Yes.
Commissioner Trong?
Yes.
Commissioner Zhang?
Yes.
Commissioner Batillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Rosario?
Yes.
And Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Great.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. So I'll just
Happy
make a
holidays, everyone.
Yes, I'll thank you.
Good night.
Member.
Thank you.
Usually we have a meeting with the holiday party after this. Usually that's what we have been doing as a tradition. But I know this is the second year that we are not having the party. So hopefully everybody have a good time. And we'll all connect in January.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Thank
holidays.
you.
Happy
Bye-bye.
holidays.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, folks. Bye.
Thanks, IT. Have a good night.